Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm your other Shorty. Today we're going to take a quick little look at Zatanna, Bring Down the House. This is Mariko Tamaki, and I actually quite liked the detective comics thing. I didn't rave about it like it wasn't like a genre-defining thing, but I pulled it and I enjoyed every issue of it. Great work by the artist. So when I saw that she was doing Zatanna, a exceptionally rare DC Black Label special event, because it has no Batman in it. No wrong, I checked. I went through the shadows, made sure he wasn't lurking anywhere. You know what he's like. He loves a good lurk. But she obviously got all out of the system right to detective, so she's doing something completely different, which is Zatanna. I think a character which does deserve more time in the spotlight. Yeah, she had some bit of fun in that DC Justice League Dark thing for the, I want to say, New 52. I can't remember exactly which iteration it was. But it also, put in a terrible Constantine, so I kind of ignored that entirely and pretended it didn't exist. Looking forward to somebody taking a different take on Zatanna, and I think this is kind of what I was looking for. I did order some spare, just so I knew if I did want it, I could add to my pull list, and I am intrigued. It does what I think every fishy one should be able to do, which is intrigue me. There's an awful lot of discussion on what makes the perfect first issue. Some people want something big and bombastic, something that grabs hold of you and makes you really pay attention to what's going on the page. I personally want something which is going to make me want to come back for issue 2, because there is teasers, there is foreshadowing, there is hints of what's going on, there is an underlying current and thread that's leading the story forward. Issue 1 isn't just, look at this issue 1. Some people do that, and I think Marvel in particular can be a little bit guilty of that sometimes. DC, I think, are slightly better with it, even with just a miniseries, which is Black Label, and a regular size Black Label, no square binding going on here, fits in comic boxes, brilliant. And as such, that's what I'm mainly going to be talking about. Because from the get-go, I must admit, I was not necessarily put off, but I was a little bit surprised. The artist, I can't remember the name of this one, Javier Rodriguez, goes for a kind of soft, easy-going style throughout, even softer at certain points. When we have some flashbacks, we do have it almost shot through a soft focus lens. The colour palette is a little bit muted. Even though there's quite a lot going on and the layouts are still really interesting, and I like the POV parts of it, it is still a bit more relaxed, a bit more sedate for the most part. Except when we get to Zatanna's castle, and it goes full-on gothic luxury, including some fantastic shots inside her father's, I want to say, study or library, which has more than a touch of the Tradmore to it all. I mean that with all due respect. I love Tradmore stuff. It doesn't quite mess around with perspective and point of view quite so much, but it does it a little bit here and there. It's more the exuberant colouring, which really grabbed hold of me, because yes, it was dark, gothic, shadowy, but also almost neon at times. A really intense, in-depth colour palette for those few sequences. When we get to the more contemporary kind of stuff, where actually Zatanna going through her life right now, the art is, if anything, even more middle of the road. But this is not a criticism. I know it sounds like a backhanded compliment at best there, but it's doing something on purpose here. I was trying to think of how I describe it, and in my head it was just, well, if they ever did a Seinfeld graphic novel, this is the art I'd expect from it. Yes, kind of sitcom-y, but also kind of just very dry dramedy kind of thing as well. Very much a day in the life of. But it works effectively because of what I said earlier, which is it's building up to something. It is laying the groundwork very effectively for what's going to be coming up, or at least trying to tease what's going to be coming up. We don't know what's happening, excuse me, and that's even better. Because we shouldn't know what's going on. It should still be surprising. It should still be a fantastic revelation as we're experiencing the comic book. But it does it in this way because it's so normal, so everyday, so run-of-the-mill, that when things aren't quite right, they're unsettling in ways which aren't easy to describe. I mean, there's one bit which is a little bit more obvious than others, involving a shadow on a highway, but for the most part it is normal things, but not quite right. And that very middle-of-the-road art style leans into it in ways which make it more unsettling. And this is not to say, when I go middle-of-the-road, I'm not criticising. He is very, very good at it. His colour palette throughout is fantastic, his layouts are brilliant, he really knows how to ramp up tension, and it's that tension which is what can make me come back to it. Because that is what Tamaki is going to be doing as well. She is peppering the story with bits of foreshadowing, some of which may come out to payoffs at the end, some which may not. It may just be interesting ways of using dialogue and setting to discombobulate the reader, to make them think there's more going on, because it is a mystery. This is an entire trick. It's done by showing us what we think we're seeing in very normal ways, with that middle-of-the-road kind of art style and the soft-focus flashbacks. And then when we get to the reveal, when we get to that moment where the curtain is pulled back, we realise we've not been looking at the right thing the entire time. Maybe going back and rereading it a few times, I might notice more, I don't know. But it definitely intrigues me and makes me want to come back and check it out. So I will be reading issue 2 at the minimum. Excuse me. That's it for me for now, though. I have a bunch to review this week. Sorry about last week, I didn't get much done, but at least I got to talk about comics randomly just for fun. Until I see you all again, though, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye!